Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and it's my great pleasure to welcome today Sanjay Rath, who is one of the great masters of Vedic astrology from India, and Andrew Foss, the creator of Sri Jyoti Star, author of The Planets, and my great friend from many years.
Thank you.
So today we are talking about various subjects, and the first thing that we want to discuss, Sanjay, is the use of tropical and sidereal zodiac in Jyotish. So any words of wisdom about that?
Yeah, both the tropical and the sidereal zodiacs have been mentioned in the Vishnu Puran, and the Vishnu Puran has been accepted as a very authentic text. And they are called the Vishnu Chakra and the Narayan Chakra. Now, basically, when we talk of zodiacs, we talk about the interaction of stars with the Bhuloka or the earth plane. And when we take the Bhuloka and the Bhuvaloka, that is the planets and the earth, and make a chart with it, we will only get the chart of the seasons. And that is the tropical zodiac, which is used for predicting weather and sowing of seeds and things like that for agriculture, commerce, and all those activities. And the winds, for example, the trade winds and the other winds are all based upon the tropical zodiac. So it is a very useful thing for predicting agriculture and things like that. But the moment we go to Bhuva Loka and then beyond that, the Swarga Loka, we talk of the area of the nakshatras and the constellations. Then what happens is basically the tropical zodiac doesn't really map into the constellations because there is a mismatch between the two, because one is moving vis-a-vis the other. And so then we need a sidereal zodiac, and the sidereal zodiac needs to map exactly into the stars. And that is why when we talk of Swargaloka, or a life beyond death, or a life of a soul, or a life of a spirit, then naturally we need to take stars into account.
Yeah, so in Vedic astrology, mostly when we are doing personal astrology or and analyzing the chart of a person, we tend to use the sidereal zodiac.
We have no options
Yeah,
but to do
and
that.
we also, obviously, weather reporting is no longer that much part of most practicing astrologers. So the tropical zodiac is not that much used, although it is recognized as a valid form of looking at the various patterns of weather. So, Andrew, do you want to add anything to this?
Well, I was going to ask Sanjayji, some people say that the Rashis are really essentially tropical, while the nakshatras are sidereal, and then they mix the two like that. What do you think of that?
There is no logic in that, because basically the signs, when we say zodiac signs, are really not visible in the sky. What is visible is the method by which you are going to map and create the zodiac. And what we use for the creation of the zodiac, of the first degree of the zodiac, is what we have a fixed star. And you can use a fixed star to create it, or you can use the equinoxes and the solstices to create it. So if you're using equinoxes and solstices to create the zodiac, then you're using a tropical zodiac. If on the other hand you are using a fixed star to create the zodiac, then you are using a sidereal zodiac. It's as simple as that. So the zodiac by itself doesn't exist. We create a zodiac on the basis of the motion of the sun.
The tropical.
The tropical or even the sidereal. Once you fix the starting point, then we count the number of days
Exactly.
and 360 degrees.
And in
Yeah.
astronomy, it's always used the sidereal zodiac.
Yeah, so from the point of view of, let us say, any astronomer which uses the stars, they have to use the sidereal. They don't have an option.
So I think the main thing is this, that it really depends on what is the starting point of your zodiac. So if you are using the equinoxes, you are looking at the tropical zodiac, and if you look at a fixed star to start the zodiac, and this is the sidereal is what is used by the astronomers as well. And of course in Vedic astrology we have always used that with a combination of tropical.
I think one very interesting point is that the sun is difficult to observe at night time. So the only way to really measure the position of the sun is tropically. But the planets and the moon are only really visible at night time. So they've always been measured sidereally. So the job of the astronomer or the astrologer since the earliest time was to put these two measurements together so that you could create one map of the heavens. And therefore, either the tropical had to be adjusted to the sidereal, so the sun could be added to the chart, or there had to be the opposite adjustment, so all the planets and the moon could be put in the same thing with the sun. So this is why from the very earliest times, it was a major effort, scientific effort of mankind to try and measure the connection between the tropical and the sidereal.
Also, if you bear in mind how they did it was, they would take the sunrise and the sunset and take the midpoint between them, and the midnight, the local midnight, and they would look at the star, which is at the local midnight. That is a very important star, because that was said to be the star of Kali for the day. So, based upon that, they would judge the position of the sun. That's how they did it.
Well, the Mayans used Venus, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
They kept continuously measuring the position of Venus, because sometimes Venus can be seen with the sun, and sometimes Venus can be seen with the stars. So if you can really determine the relative position of the sun and Venus, then you can fix the sun based on when you can see Venus against the stars.
Right.
So
But you see, Parashara's method is far more accurate. If you see the sunrise and the sunset timings and take the local noon,
right.
exact opposite that is the local midnight.
Yes.
And that would be the position of the star. Whichever star is at local midnight, then they can easily fix the position of the
So
sun.
very interesting.
Yeah, so I think that the basic point on this argument is that we should know the whole system and not think that partial is good. So thank you.
Thank you.